Welcome to Malaga, with its stunning beaches, historic architecture, and amazing old town. Let's take a look. Before we get into the good stuff, here is a brief intro to Malaga to give you a little bit of context. The city was founded about 2,800 years ago, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in Europe. And this history shines everywhere in the city, from ancient Roman sites, medieval Moorish palaces, and right up to modern times with an impressive array of modern towers. The city is the gateway to the famous Costa del Sol coastal region, and from here you can easily reach all of the amazing beach resorts nearby. Malaga also has a huge port, and you will often see giant cruise ships coming and going. The current population is close to 600,000 people, making it a bustling and lively place full of great food and places to shop. Malaga has a large international airport with numerous connections directly into the city centre, which connects to a modern and efficient public transport network of metros, buses and trains. But once you're in the city, everything is within easy walking distance, so you won't need to worry about any of that. However, the city is connected by rail to many other great locations. So if you're here for a little longer, there are some great options for day trips, one of which will be at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Malaga has a pretty awesome beach, better known as Playa de la Malagueta. The beach is a few minute walk from the city centre. There's a really nice promenade to walk along to see the beach if you want to avoid getting sand in your shoes. And about halfway along is the famous sign, where everyone seems to like getting their photo taken and doing selfies. The beach itself is really pleasant, and when we visited in November it was still very warm, quiet and very relaxing, so take a moment to soak up the sunshine and just enjoy it. Our next location is the harbour, which is just behind the beach. This is a great location to stroll around and soak in the views, as well as having many cool places to eat and drink. Malaga has always been an important port city, and that is as true today as it was in ancient times. Here you can see all sorts of ships and boats, from colossal cruise liners for tourists to huge ferries linking the city to North Africa. Opposite the main harbour you will also see industrial docks loading and unloading who knows what, and slightly further out is a very busy container port. The harbour also has other types of boats. Hey look, you can see my luxury yacht as well. There are also boat tours, fun boats, and basically every type of boat and ship you can imagine. So if you like boats, then this is a great place for you. And while you're here, don't forget to have a look at the historic lighthouse and take a walk along this interesting looking modern promenade and explore the palm tree lined park just behind it. I spent a fair amount of time in the harbour area and captured all these time lapses, so enjoy. Just behind the harbour is the historic centre and old town of Malaga. It's small and compact and full of many twisting, winding alleys and streets that are very easy to get lost in, but that is half the fun. There are many interesting and quirky sights in these streets, such as these little sculptures of acrobats doing daring stunts above the entrance to one of the tiny back alleys. One of the main streets is this one, which I will pronounce badly, called the Cau de Marquis de Lario. This is a long, straight, pedestrianised shopping street that cuts right through the middle of the old town. It was constructed at the end of the 19th century. As well as being full of shops, the street also seems to have different street decorations hoisted above it, which makes it easy to recognise. At one end of the street is this nice, wide and open plaza, which is again full of many interesting shops. The old town is also home to many important churches and museums, such as the Picasso Museum. I didn't visit as the weather was too nice to go indoors, but I have heard many are highly recommended, so if museums are your thing, then Malaga has plenty. Staying in the old town, you can't help but miss the gigantic cathedral. This stunning building was constructed between 1528 and 1782 in a Renaissance classical style. Although its impressive main facade is in a more lavish Baroque style, as you can see from all the lovely decorations and marble. The North Tower is 84 metres high and is visible from all over the city, making it a great point of reference for when you get lost in all the streets. Overall, the building is a whopper, so no wonder it took 2.5 centuries to build. The interior is also very impressive and ornately decorated, and very much worth the entry fee, so make sure you spend a little time wandering around this exceptional building. A few minutes walk just behind the cathedral is the ancient Roman theatre. The theatre dates back to the 1st century BC and was in use until sometime around the 3rd century. At some point it became buried and was only rediscovered in 1951. It was built into the side of a hill and many of its carved stones were taken by the Moors in use in the construction of our next location. Sitting above the theatre is perhaps the best attraction in Malaga, the Alcazaba. This palace fortress was built during medieval times when this area of Spain was ruled by the Muslims, often referred to as the Moors. This Moorish architecture makes this an exceptionally interesting location to explore and definitely worth the entry fee. The complex was constructed between the 11th and 14th centuries. It has an inner and outer section, both contained within strong defensive walls. You will start off in the outer section and follow the path up through a series of defensive gates, for a series of small areas often with lovely fruit trees. Some of the gates still retain Roman columns and capitals, likely borrowed from the aforementioned theatre below. There are also numerous good spots to get great views over the city. Eventually you will reach the upper citadel, where you will discover a series of tranquil gardens and fountains, all connected with little water channels. It's really peaceful and one of the most amazing places I've ever visited. At the very top is the Nasrid Palace with its distinctive Moorish architecture. Although much of it has been reconstructed, it's still a really lovely place to explore, with lots of small courtyards with little water pools. It's so good, even the pigeons love it. And from up here you'll get more stunning views across the city, so it's really not to be missed. Sitting just above the Alcazaba and connected to it is a Gibralfaro castle. You can buy a combined ticket to visit it along with the Alcazaba, or you can visit them separately. The castle sits on top of quite a high hill, so it's a bit of a walk to reach, but it's a nice stroll through some pleasant landscape terraces with more splendid views. There is also a city bus that goes most of the way to the top for those who need it. The castle was constructed between the 10th and 14th centuries, although not much remains of all the buildings inside. The main reason to visit is to walk along the impressive walls. These encircle the entire site, and from here you'll get many impressive views over the city and surrounding coastlines. Here are some highlights. Hopefully you're not bored by amazing views, because right next to the castle is a famous viewpoint known as the Mirador de Gibralfaro. This is the best place to watch the sun go down. You can even see the very distant mountains of North Africa from here. I got here very early and claimed a nice spot to set up for some time lapses. However, it gets crazy busy and I was pushed and shoved by very rude people desperate for selfies. So I do recommend getting here early to take in these really spectacular views over the city and harbour of Malaga. If you find yourself with a spare day in Malaga, there are plenty of options for day trips. My recommendation is for something a little different and to go mountain hiking. Yeah, that's right, hiking in the mountains. I bet you never expected that in Malaga, did you? Jump on a train and head to Benalmádena, Arroyo de la Miel station. From here it's a short walk to the Benalmádena cable car. Or Benalmádena cable car. I don't know, you tell me in the comments below how to pronounce that. This whisks you up to 800 meters to Mount Calamorro. Here you'll find lots of paths to explore with many truly outstanding views, and if you go on a clear day you may even be able to see Africa in the far distance. And that seems like a good place to end this video. So what are you waiting for? Go book your tickets, you won't regret it. Thanks for watching and cheerio!